What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang? This is your boy Niner Gang Podcast back in the building with another video. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notification so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it. We're division champs, man. We're motherfucking division fucking champs. I'm just letting you know that right now. We are the division champs. We are solidified. It is automatic. This is the first season that we have had back-to-back seasons where we're going to the playoffs under the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch regime. And I love it. I'm very, very happy, man. Brock Purdy is just simply amazing. It's just straight up fantastic. Give me just a sec. All right, cool. Sorry, just talking to another ridiculously awesome Niners. Basically another Niners podcaster. Man, these people are amazing. We literally have the most. You know what I'm saying? We literally have the most content creators out of all teams. But we got the division people. Like, this is crazy. Like, look at the way the season went for us, man. We start the season and we say to ourselves, we're going to go on a whole new trip. We are going to start the Trey Lance era this year. Jimmy, chuck the deuces. And everything was cool. And the next thing you know, second game, Trey goes down, broken ankle. We're like, damn it. But before the season started, they decided to restructure Jimmy's contract and brought him back. So it was like, all right, cool, man. So we look and we're like, damn. All right, well, Jimmy's here. Let's see what happens. Season doesn't start off so great, man. We look bad. Things aren't looking as good as it could. We're kind of a little iffy about things. We're like, I don't know. So we said to ourselves, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just keep going. Then Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt. He's out for the rest of the season. So we're like, fuck, we got to go to the third string quarterback. We can already kick Nick Sudfeld to the curb. We get that man a $2 million contract guaranteed fully. And it was like, yeah, man, we like the kid. Peace. So now we're down to the third string quarterback in Brock Purdy. Everybody is like, oh, shit. We don't know what we're about to get. All reports from training camp said the kid was good, but his arm strength was bad, and there was a couple of things here and there. So we're all like, fuck, what are we going to do? The next thing you know, Brock Purdy said, don't worry about it. I got this. He comes in for Jimmy. We win. And we win in stunning fashion. It is just flat out amazing. And the next thing you know, he said Diggs wants to impersonate Tart. You gotta expand on that. I don't even know what's going on. What's going on, Andy? So next thing you know, Brock comes in and he just starts balling and won't stop balling. Like, now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the guy's having what's going on throwback. I'm not saying the guy's having like a ridiculous season. Oh, he dropped that pick right there. Tommy always with the shit, man. It's early in the morning. He on the extras. But basically, Brock Purdy has been continually balling, and he has not stopped, and it doesn't matter who he faced. Like, the guy is literally one of the best, young QBs in the league. And I know it's funny, a couple of people were talking about the possibility of him getting Rookie of the Year, and I'm like, he ain't played enough, y'all. Don't get me wrong. We got 4 games left, and everything looks good. But, Rookie of the Year is a little far-fetched. And it's just because he hasn't played the full season. And had he done this like all season long and been our guy, I can guarantee you he would have got Rookie of the Year strictly based on the fact that he's a quarterback. The NFL loves quarterbacks. They give quarterbacks every fucking thing. They do have a new rule, however, that I do not care for. The NFL literally is stating that They want to implement a new rule where you can get kicked out of the game for roughing the passer or, unnecessary roughness and things like that. I'm like, the rule's already in place. If you get it twice, like, it's a wrap. You gone. My thing is when you put too many offensive rules and not enough defensive rules, it makes the game lopsided. And then at the same time, you could lose one of your best players on just something that's accidental. One thing that the NFL does not account for is the fact that these are really large, really fast human beings, and your momentum sometimes cannot be stopped. Literally, I'll give you an example. It's not going to be people; it's going to be with cars. Literally, so I'm from California. In the state of California, if you're driving and the light is yellow, typically they would like you to slow down and stop. I think that's usually in most places. But here's the thing. If the momentum of your car is going too fast, you need to go through that light and you need to do it safely. Obviously, you want to make sure you do it right. But at the end of the day, if I'm going 45 miles an hour, and that's the speed limit on the street, and I'm coming up to a yellow light, but I'm close and I just don't have the option to slow down enough where I can stop properly and not get rear-ended, I need to go through that light to avoid an accident from behind. Now, of course, you want to be smart about it. So at the end of the day, it's very simple. For these guys, it's hard to stop the momentum of your body. And if you watch these pass rushers now, they're literally doing everything. Every time they get up off the quarterback, they have their hands up like this. Like they being stuck up, like somebody about to rob them, or like the cops told them to put their hands up. Why? Because they don't want the roughing the passer call. Oh, well, you can't drive him into the ground. What the fuck do you mean I can't drive him into the ground? I think I have to tackle the guy. If I fall on him because I'm trying to tackle him, what do you want me to do? Roll? Like there's no avoiding it. So it's definitely a struggle, man. Don't worry about that, all right? You know what I'm saying? My fro, right? Don't worry about my hair, Tommy. This guy right here, he always with the shit in the water. But that's basically what it is. Like they've made this a disadvantage for the defenses in the league, where there's so many things that go in terms of in favor of the offense that it's almost like playing defense is null and void to an extent. You barely touch the receiver, and it's 15-yard penalty. Unnecessary roughness. Bruh, I have 5 yards to make this dude's life a living hell. You can't call holding on me or call unnecessary roughness or pass interference or anything like that, because within this 5 yards, I am going to make his life a living hell, and I have every right to do so. It's in the rule book. It's right there. So that's the frustrating thing about that. What's going on, Dave McNew? See, David McNiner. He's probably going to start a channel too. That's dope, man. That's dope. I appreciate it. And as far as when I'm getting a haircut, man, it's when my barber gets back in town. Black people don't let just anybody cut on their hair, man. Just walk around and just go to anybody and get a haircut, man. We're very particular, and it's one thing my uncle taught me as a kid. You don't let just anybody cut on your hair, because they'll fuck your shit up, and then you be out walking out looking ridiculous, and you might even tell yourself, that you look good and it's suspect. Just saying. So all these rules that are coming into play that they're contemplating, they're thinking about, this isn't making the game safer. It's making it worse, because if I can't hit the quarterback, what's the point? If that's the case, if y'all are really that fucking annoyed by that, then put a flag on the fucking quarterback. If I snatch his flag, play dead, that's it. But it's just, I don't know, man. I mean, unless you in Arizona, bro, I wouldn't be able to do anything, man. I think it's a situational thing for me when it comes to defenses that puts them at a really bad disadvantage. And you're always sitting back, looking at yourself going, am I doing the right thing? Did I land too hard? Did I commit a penalty? Are they going to throw a flag? And it's like every roughing the passer call is not roughing the passer. I remember a couple of years ago, Kerry Hyder literally flipped over a quarterback to avoid hitting him and still got called for roughing the passer. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. At this point, it's becoming a cupcake league. Like, these quarterbacks today wouldn't last 5 minutes in the 80s, the 70s, 60s. Like, they would be dead because they didn't have all that protection. You can get your world rocked well after you didn't let that damn ball go and nobody gave two shits. And that's just how it worked, man. You know, if you don't believe me, you can look at two of our greats, Joe Montana and Steve Young. They got fucked up. They got hit. Hell, Steve got hit so much it made his ass retire. But that's just how it works, man. And it's real unfortunate. If they start implementing more rules to give advantages to the offense, then defense is just going to be pretty much null and void. And what's going to be the point in doing so? I definitely wouldn't want to be on the defense where I basically have to just look at someone and not touch them, because if I do, everything is roughing the pass or a 15-yard penalty or unnecessary roughness or this or that. It's just, it doesn't work, you know. And the NFL, they're not thinking along the lines of safety. They're thinking along the lines of money. You got to remember that this is $1 billion industry. The NFL literally is a I forgot what we call it, but they're Jesus, what is it called when they don't have to pay taxes? I can't remember the name of it. Somebody does, just put it in the chat. Nonprofit. These motherfuckers are a nonprofit. How the fuck is the NFL a nonprofit making billions of dollars a year? That don't make no goddamn sense. None at all. But it is what it is. Back to this game. Anyway, so Brock Purdy comes in, man, and we get the W over the Seahawks. It's a couple of things that happened in the game that, you know, worked out well. Some things that didn't necessarily work out. So if you just take a look at the numbers, man, Purdy 17-26, 217, 2 TDs, only took 1 sack. 117 quarterback rating, and then a QBR of ESPN, man. They be with these ads all damn day. And a QBR 62.6. And then if you flip to the other side, Geno Smith 31 of 44, 238, and 1 TD, and he had 3 sacks that that the defense got. So when you look at that, Brock Purdy threw the ball. You know, a lot less than Geno Smith. Geno Smith threw the ball 44 times, got 238 yards, and then Brock Purdy threw the ball 26 times and got 217 yards. So, you know, I mean, hell, you got 11 more yards than what Purdy, you know, or should I say 21 more yards than what Purdy had. Whatever the numbers are, I don't give a shit. You basically had more yards than Purdy, but you didn't get that far, and you did it with more attempts. So, while Purdy was averaging 8.3 yards per throw, Geno Smith averaged 5.4. So that tells you that, you know, Purdy had a little bit of a better game. Plus, he only took that 1 sack. Also, Brock Purdy did not throw a pass until they were in, like, the hotel lobby. Like, literally, he just was not about to do it. He doesn't want – yeah, and this is a fact. This is definitely a fact right here. Let me put this up for everybody to see. Purdy doesn't have to be Mahomes. And that's the truth of it. So what people don't understand is we weren't asking Jimmy to do nothing fucking spectacular. We were asking him to operate inside the fucking parameters of the scheme. It's literally all we were asking him to do. Now, once again, I still do hold true. What's going on, CG Ruthless? Once again, I still do hold true that it is a situation where if you look at it, we can't let the defense, you know, put us in a hole because Jimmy couldn't dig us out. And that's the number one thing. You know, now we've been leading in all these games that Purdy has been playing. Everything has been working out, but, you know, we do have to continue to keep going. And when the playoffs come, man, teams turn up. That's when teams give it their all. That's when you're going to see dudes go all out. It's when the term all gas, no brakes, you know, from our previous DC, Robert Saleh, it holds true in the playoffs. Everybody goes hard. You're giving 120%. There is no playing. There's no games. Like, they really are with the shit. And they are coming to take your head off. They don't give a shit about no rules. They don't care about nothing. When the playoffs come, they want it. Because unlike the regular season, the playoffs are one and done. You win or go home. And you don't want to be the person on the couch. So you got to go as hard as you possibly can. So we didn't beat the Seahawks in passing yards, but we beat them in the game. And then look at the 49ers. We scored in every quarter except the fourth. We scored in the first, second, and third, and we scored 7 in each quarter. So, I mean, that works. Would I like to see us have scored, would I like to see us score more? Of course, but you take what you can get, man. You don't, we don't have to be greedy about it. So CMC, 26 carries, 108 yards, 1 TD. Jordan Mason, 4 carries, 64 yards, and his longest run was 55. Jordan Mason almost had his first NFL TD. And I'm a little upset with Kyle because he didn't allow him to get it. They didn't have to kneel that. You could have ran. Kyle, you knew you had something in your bag just to allow Mason to get it. But here's the thing. I understand it to an extent because it's like, hey, we got the game, but we're only up 21-13. So if somebody fumbles, if something happens, then what do we wind up doing? We allow them to get back into the game. They can score and go for a 2-point conversion. And now we're in fucking overtime. So I understand why he was conservative on it. But at the same time, I'm not going to lie to you. If I'm Jordan Mason, I want that damn TD. I go into the huddle and tell him, hey, man, please don't kneel us down, bro. I know coach going to be upset, but fuck, I was right there. So basically what it is. And I can appreciate that, man, because it sucks when you're right there, man, right fucking there. And he just didn't have the afterburners to be able to hit that TD. If that's somebody like Raheem Mostert or something like that, yeah, that's a touchdown because he's gone. You're not going to catch him. Mason doesn't have that top end speed, but I think Mason has like 40-yard speed. Like if it's you, him, and 40 yards between the TD, he's going to outrun you. If it's anything more than that, he don't have the afterburners to get it into the touchdown. But still, I love the fact that he is running hard. Yes, the 55-yard run inflates his yards per carry. So when you look at it, it was 55 yards. Other than that, you take that away, and he has 3 carries for 9 yards. It's only 3 yards a carry. So, yes, it inflated his numbers. It looks like he's averaging 16 yards a carry. But either way, it kind of is what it is. So Jordan Mason and Christian McCaffrey carried the load. And we didn't see Mason until the end of the game. Like, he kept CMC in there continuously. He was just running him, making sure he got touches and everything. And it's like, you don't have to overwork CMC. And now that we had the division, we should honestly see a lot more of Jordan Mason. Take some of the load off of his shoulders, because at this point it's basically about seeding. When you look at it, now that we've locked up our division and nobody can take that from us, doesn't matter whether we lose out or anything, we've got the division. We do have one more game against the Cardinals. If we get them, we sweep the whole division. Now, my thing is, if that game against the Cardinals means nothing, like if whether we win or lose doesn't change our seeding and stuff like that, I want a whole bunch of backups in there. I want to see Ambry Thomas. I want to see Sam Womack. I want to see Quantrez Knight. That safety, you can leave Gipp in there if you feel. I'd rather see Tarvarius Moore and George Odom. For the D line, I'm putting in all backups. For quarterback, I'm putting in Josh Johnson. For running back, Jordan Mason and TDP are going to play a whole hell of a lot. Like, this is what I would do if, at the end of the season, if you get to a point where you're fighting for seeding, but your seeding is set and it's not going to change, then put your backups in, give your guys rest, man. Let these dudes chill. They don't need to be in there. I'd love to see Drake Jackson on 3 downs every fucking time we're on defense. That'd be great, because I know Drake Jackson could get it done. T.Y. McGill is very underrated. We still have Akeem Spence. There's still Jordan Willis. Like, we have the guys to be able to do things. And then the Cardinals are just in a bad spot, man. So we want to see how that pans out. You know what I mean? Now, if we get on like a crazy streak, if we keep going and we're on a streak, I'm pretty sure the guys are going to be like, bro, we're rolling. Don't take us out. Let us keep going. So if, like I said, if it's a situation where seating doesn't matter anymore and we are where we are, sit these dudes, give them that time off, man. Let them heal their bodies up and let them rest. Don't worry about it. This extra time that we have off with Friday, Saturday, the whole week, and then we come back next week and be like that. It makes life so much easier. You know what I mean? So, me personally, that's what I would do. I would just sit these guys. But either way, Mason still had a really good game. I'd love to see a lot more of him. And then uh, for the Seahawks, Kenneth Walker only had 47 yards, and Geno Smith had one 18-yard run. If you take away Geno Smith's run, we gave up about 52 yards total to running backs. And Travis Homer had that fumble. None of their running backs scored. So this is the beauty of this, man. It's real simple. We shut the run down. It's 70 yards combined, and that's between Geno, Kenneth Walker, and Travis Homer. So we don't allow them to run or do anything. Now, yeah, Tyler Lockett, 7 catches for 68 yards, 9.7 yards a catch. DK Metcalf, 755. Noah Fant caught the TD pass. But other than that, these guys did much of nothing. And then for us, on our side of the ball, we got the ball to at least 6 different receivers. Kittle was the main guy, 4 catches, 93 yards, 2 TDs on 5 targets. JJ had 3 for 31 on 5 targets. CMC, 6 for 30 on 8 targets. Tyler Kroft, 1 for 28 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 2 for 19. He had a drop. Ray McLeod, 1 for 16. So when you look at these things, man, like these are very simple stats. Very simple stats. Oh, Tyler Lockett is out for 2 weeks minimum. Ooh, that does not bode well for them. No. Definitely doesn't bode well for them because they need him down the stretch, unless they got a dude that we just don't know about that's going to come out and do the things that they need to do. Oh, yeah, that's guaranteed they're losing to the Chiefs. They ain't got no hope. So then when you look at it from a defensive standpoint, what happened? We had 3 sacks. We had 5 tackles for a loss. We had 7 passes defensed. Like, that's what we did, And then I believe we had that forced fumble coming in. So it was cool. And, when you talk about the matchups, DK Metcalf, you said, okay, Tommy Huxley says Tyler Lockett broke his hand possibly. Ooh, yeah, that's oof. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, man. You gotta let that hand heal up, right? But when you look at the defense and what happened in that game, man, we were all over them. There was consistent pressure on Geno Smith. He was never comfortable in the pocket, man, and he was seeing ghosts, and we were getting so close to him and doing things like Mooney versus DK Metcalf. That was a great matchup to watch. I loved every second. What's going on, Tarvarius? What do you say? The only concern about our defense, they can't stop mobile Q. Yes, that is a fact. So we'll get to that in just a second. But DK versus Mooney was a wonderful battle to watch, man. These dudes were all up in each other's face. And DK was talking shit that game, man. He was running his mouth. He did not care. He was like, fuck y'all. Like they RSF Niners, they put up the speech before as it pertained to Fred Warner breaking the team down before the game. He was like, we hate these motherfuckers, man. Let's go out there and punch them in the mouth, on the first drive. And that's basically how they work it, man. And I don't mind when a team says we don't like, because we don't. We hate the Seahawks. We hate Lumen Field. Their fans are annoying. 12, all that bullshit. It's just really fucking stupid. But I think, honestly, Mooney shut him down for the most part. And he did a great job on him. And he showed DK, I don't give a fuck that you big and you all buff and shit with, body chiseled from fucking clay. No one cares about that shit. Shit don't mean nothing on the field. On the field, it's me and you. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make your life a living hell. So it worked out well, man. Demo, he got robbed, bro. And see, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the roughing the passer. That was not roughing the passer on Nick Bosa. It was not. His body moment, like this goes back to what I was talking about as well. The momentum of your body. This dude, these people are 250 plus pounds. You want them to stop all that to not touch a quarterback. And if they barely nudge him, you're going to give him a penalty anyway. I might as well fall on the motherfucker. Why not? You're gonna do it anyway. If I fall on him and he gets hurt a little bit, good. Take your bitch ass out the game, put the third stringer in, I'm gonna fuck him up too. And that's the crappy part about it. Like, they do this to the defenses and it gives them a real big disadvantage. I love offense. I love to see big plays. I like all those things. Don't get me wrong, but it just, I can't consistently look at that and go, yeah, it's all right. Keep giving the offense every advantage in the world. It's not fair to the defenses. I'm sorry. It just is not. But yeah, I mean, we would have beaten 28-13, and you probably could give Jordan Mason his touchdown at that point. Why? Because Demo had given us extra cushion, so there's no way that they can come back and try to score again. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that's why Kyle didn't go for the TD, because he was like, yeah, I don't want them to wind up getting back in this game, and we got to play longer. And, Brock's already hurt with that oblique injury, and I'm pretty sure he'll get better this week. And they probably might even just give him the week off. Hey, look, man, it's Christmas. Be with your family. Relax. Take a chill pill. I'm not upset with that. I truly am not by any stretch of the imagination am I mad. So, personally, I think it's just a situation where the defense did a fantastic job. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got 3 sacks. When you take a look at it, Huff had that sack. Nick Bosa had one, and so did Samson Ebicom. And Ebicom literally got a free sack because I think Geno fell, and he was the first Niner to touch him. So, hey, you take your sacks out, you can get them. You don't get upset about them. It's just like interceptions. Interceptions are one of 2 things. It's instinct and skill, or just being in the right place at the right time. Because if you tip drill, then you're like, oh, snap. Okay, here comes the ball. Great. Got it. Interception. But there are times as well where you've seen the field. You know what receivers do. You've done your studying, and you put that into the game, and that's what makes it happen. Perfect example of studying and getting it done is the pick 6 that Huff had versus the Rams. He read that play. He had seen it a million times. He knew where they were going. So when he jumped it, his instincts proved him right. Boom. Into the end zone, touchdown. We beat, it's a part of helping us beat the Lamb Chops. So, yeah, we are going to need another interior defensive lineman. We need a dude that's going to be able to push the pile. We need a hog in the middle. We really do. And CG makes a good point. Sheldon Richardson is definitely a high possibility. I'm not mad at that. Richardson can still make sure he's really good run stuffer. Really good run stuffer. So, when it comes to the defense, though, Demo had 10 tackles, 1 TFL. Fred Warner had 8. Greenlaw had 8. Ward had 6. And then you just keep going down the list. When you look at the passes defense, Greenlaw had 2. Mooney had 2. Huff had 1. Bosa had 1. Samson Ebicom had 1. Drake Jackson did not get a batted pass this season, but he is doing very well in that department. So, it's definitely a situation that's going to be, something we keep an eye on for the rest of the season. Our defense has just been balling. We look great. We really do look like the number 1 defense in the league. There's nothing that's going to stop us. Dre Greenlaw is playing out of his fucking mind. Demo has just had a complete 360, almost a 720, just based off of last year to this year. We started this year with Mooney and Mosley, and that was a great tandem. Then Mosley went down, and unfortunately he tore his ACL, and Demo had to come in. And Demo has been balling ever since. You know what I'm saying? Sam Womack was the nickel for a little bit. They were basically kind of switching them in and out. And, Demo had to go to full-time outside. Jimmy Ward got healthy, but they like what they have with Huff and Gift back there. So they put Jimmy Ward in the slot. We all know Ward doesn't want to be there. He would love to be back in his natural position of safety. So what happens? You look at it and you go, damn, man, what is he going to do? He's on the last year of his contract, playing for another contract. So you're going to go out there and ball. You're going to do whatever you need to do. And Ward's going to play like his hair is on fire because he knows he's got to go out there and get that money. Now, when D'Amico leaves, whoever we let go, guarantee they're probably going to go with him. Wherever D'Amico goes, that is, because he's definitely getting a head coaching job next year, guaranteed. It's a foregone conclusion. If we get in the playoffs and we get deep in there, everything's going to be cool. But I can tell you right now, if we go to the playoffs and unfortunately lose, which I'm not hoping for, God forbid. But if we do, wind up getting put out at some point, I guarantee you his phone is going to be ringing off the hook from several different teams going, hey, come take over this job and help us fix this shit. He's going to have to find an offensive coordinator, of course, because he's the defensive guy. So that doesn't, that works out well for him. But at the same time, it's like, hey, man, you don't have to worry too much. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. D'Amico was a great player, man. And I'm sorry, looking at him, man, he should get your ass on that field. D'Amico, suit up real quick, dog. Use you for a couple of plays here and there. I know T.O. has been out there saying, tell the Niners I'm ready, this, that, and the third, because we missed Debo or whatever. But it's like, bro, at your age, you're only going to give us maybe 10 plays a game. And I don't know. I doubt that Kyle Shanahan's going to do that, because he had the opportunity to call back several different people and he just didn't. Kyle Shanahan messes with his people and his people only. He doesn't really like to go outside of the realm of the people he knows. But for this game, man, defense was stellar. We balled. We balled in every way you could think of. We did exactly what we were supposed to do. No interceptions, but we had 7 passes defensed, and we had 3 sacks. We made Geno's life a living hell. We shut down the 12s. Everybody is gone. I mean, there's so many people out there that literally had no voice after the game. Like none. And I can understand why, because when we go out there and we do exactly what we're supposed to do and we ball like that, yes, it's crazy. What's going on, Cook Sports? And yeah, man, look, there it is. Diamond Lenore has great ball instincts, plays discipline, and is aggressive. I'm telling you right now, they need to keep him around, and they will. They will. The situation with Demo and Ambry was a little off because we thought Ambry was going to be the guy, because we looked at the end to last season going, damn, this guy's, he literally had a crazy slope. He was trash and he just skyrocketed up to the top. And then for some reason in this offseason and, through training camp, he just has not been the same guy. And, he looks good, but he doesn't look like he did last year. It's insanity that these guys are, tripping out. And he's not playing the way that you initially thought he would. I mean, when Sam Womack gets more burned in the slot than you do, that tells you something, Cook Sports, Glock Purdy is better than Jimmy. He takes chances downfield. The guys, but they do, man. This locker room has rallied around him, and they all love him, man. They all love him. For me, I love the Glock Purdy too. I love that, man, because I always say he got the 9 milli loaded and he be letting off shots. His 2 touchdowns, man. That's just what it is. Bow, bow, just banging his touchdowns out, and I love it, man. Excuse me. The kid plays with poise. And he's calm, he's cool in the pocket. You don't rattle him. If you can go up to Seattle and get a W and you are a rookie, like that's a big deal. That's a very big deal, because it's insane when guys can go up and deal with that level of noise. Because believe you me, bro, that it's loud. Lumen Field is loud. There's 2 stadiums that are extremely loud. It's Arrowhead and Lumen Field. Both of those are super duper loud. So for me, Brock Purdy is balling, man. I like the kid. And to be honest with you, the deeper into the playoffs he take us, the more of a quarterback controversy there becomes. Why? Because you look dumb if you sit Trey Lance and you tell him, hey, you lost your job due to injury and we traded all these picks for you. But yeah, we're just going to stick with this guy. And then one thing that Trey Lance does have over Brock Purdy is he does have true athleticism, and he has more athleticism than Brock Purdy. I'm not saying Purdy isn't athletic, because he is. He's damn sure athletic. We've seen it over these past few games. But he has more athleticism and he has a bigger arm. So those plays down the field, those big shots, he can take those. Purdy can't. Purdy doesn't have the arm strength to do those things. And that was the one thing that a lot of the times it was talked about with him when it was in training camp. I like Brock Purdy, though. I looked up some stuff. I didn't know he was an Arizona kid. He's from Gilbert, born and bred. And, 3-star recruit. He turned down Alabama to go to Iowa State. But I can understand why people turn down Alabama. The reason being is because the Crimson Tide are like the fucking Yankees of college football. Like, they have talent upon talent upon talent upon talent, and they're like waiting in the wings to be able to get on the field. So it's like, okay, well, one running back went down. That's all right. I got another 5-star recruit sitting right behind him, and another 5-star recruit behind that guy. So getting on the field is really, really tough. So when you think about it, you go, do I go to Iowa State where I can go there, possibly steal the job from someone and get everything rolling? Yeah. Or do I go to, Alabama and hope somebody gets hurt and maybe I see the field, maybe I don't. Yes, does Alabama have all the bells and whistles, and it's a big school and they're winners and, championships, all that stuff. Yes, they have the lure that will bring you in. But the one thing you have to take into account is, am I actually getting on the field? They can tell you whatever they want to get you there. If you're going to play, I'm not 100% sure. So there's a variety of things that go on. But, this offseason is going to be real big for the Niners. Once again, like I said, the further into the playoffs we go, it's going to be harder and harder for Kyle to justify putting Lance back on the field. I am not in any way stating that I feel that Lance should lose his job due to injury. I love Trey Lance. I want him to start. I want him to get the experience. I want him to play well. I want him to do everything that he can do to get back on the field and be ready. The issue is, you can't deny the kid. You truthfully can't. If Purdy keeps balling like this, man, how do you tell him no? How do you tell him no? How do you tell him to sit on the bench as a backup? And I've said this before, I'll say it again. If this guy takes us deep into the playoffs and Kyle says, well, I like the kid, but I don't want to start a quarterback controversy. And at the same time, I don't want people questioning me all the time and bothering me about this. Purdy, if he gets deep into the playoffs, say we make the NFC Championship. This is a hypothetical. We go to the NFC Championship. We lose. We go home. You know what that does for Brock Purdy? His stock skyrockets. And the main reason for his stock skyrocketing is because of how far he went in the playoffs. Now, what does that do for us? Makes him a very, very valuable trade piece. I am not saying to trade Brock Purdy. These are hypotheticals. If his value skyrockets like that, there's always a quarterback needing team. Always. Somebody always needs a new leader. You could very well move him wherever you would like. Texas could call you and say, hey, man, we got a pick. You know what I'm saying? I know he was a 7th round pick. This motherfucker to work his way up to about a 2nd or a 3rd. What you talking? You may want to listen. If you feel there's a position of need that you need to fill. We still don't have a 1st round pick. We traded a couple picks for CMC. So it's just not a big deal. You look and they hey, look, man, we like this kid Brock. Brock looked real good, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you a 3rd. We'll give you a 2nd. Some team might pony up and just automatic, hey, look, man, you ain't in the 1st round. You want the 1st? All right, here. Let's just give us the kid. I'm not saying to trade him. I'm just saying he makes his stock rise insanely. And the deeper he gets into the playoffs and the more he does for this team. And we still have 4 games left, and the kid is just continuing to make it happen. And yes, this right here could be another situation. Players are going to want Purdy over Lance if they go deep into the playoffs. They did the same shit with Jimmy. When Kyle wanted to move Jimmy and Lance in and out, it was like, all right, cool. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and do that. The players came to him and said, hey, nope, we can't do that. Why? Well, just messing with Jimmy's leadership. It's just messing with his rhythm. It doesn't work. So what did Kyle do? All right, man, cool. Every now and then you would see Lance get a small bit of time and he would do small things, but you just never saw him consistently in and out of the game because why? He didn't feel that, the players didn't feel that it was good for the team. So he listened to his players and that's what he went and he stuck with. So it's definitely a hard sell. It's a really hard sell, man. I would love to see all of that. And I would love to keep Brock Purdy as well. So this is just once again, I'm just saying we could do that. And yes, right tackle is that Andy has a yes, right tackle is a spot because we ain't signed Mike McGlinchey. He on his 5th-year option. We have not given him a contract. We are not in contract talks with him. And if they don't sign Mike McGlinchey, most likely he'll probably test the market. He probably could get paid from somebody, and that may work for him. But I think they might have a right tackle in mind that's already on the roster. And they may just say, you know what, hey, man, this is what we got. This is what we're going to stick with. Sorry, Mike. Appreciate your time. Fuck on. It could work like that. But our next game isn't until double check because we're definitely already not, we played on Thursday night. So we got our our game already over with. We can rest pretty much this whole week, come back out and get rolling. I believe our next game is versus the Commanders. Yeah, so we play the Commanders on Christmas Eve. And, hey, I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Commanders, everybody's calling that a trap game. But here's the thing. This is extra rest for us. So I don't see why we couldn't do anything, why we wouldn't be able to make things work. Excuse me. As of right now, in the league, if you look at it, there's only 2 teams in the NFC, if I'm not mistaken, that have punched their ticket to the playoffs, and that's us and the Eagles. No one else has done so as far as that. So, yes, when I'm looking at the divisions, we clinched our division, and the Eagles have clinched theirs. No one can take that away from them. And the only team, honestly, truthfully eliminated from the playoffs, when you look at it, is the Broncos and the Texans. They have no hope of making the playoffs at all. Broncos 3-10. The Texans are currently 1-11 and hold the first overall pick in the draft. Like, it's trash. I did hear some rumblings about us possibly going to a lottery system like the NBA. I feel that would be dumb as shit. I hate the NBA's lottery system. I hate their drafting. It's all confusion and stupid. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So what do? I just wait till the end of the draft and figure out who the Bulls went ahead and picked. I'm a Bulls fan, but other than that, I truthfully don't even care. Like, I would not want the NFL to do that because it's just to screw shit up. It would screw shit up, completely trip everything out. But Brock Purdy is balling. We are winning. We have nothing. We have nothing stopping us at this point, man. The 49ers currently are 6-1 at home, 6-1 at home, 4-3 on the road, 8-2 in the NFC, which is fucking fantastic. That's great. And we are currently on a 7-game win streak. Tommy, you can kiss my ass. All right, man. You can kiss my ass. All right. I don't give a shit if you don't like the Bulls. Still my team. That ain't about to change nothing. I'm pretty sure you're a fucking Lakers fan. The Lakers suck ass. And LeBron and AD are worthless. LeBron ain't doing nothing for you, and AD can't even stay on the goddamn court to even contribute, so there's no point in that. You look at AD like you look at Jason Barrett. All that goddamn talent ain't never on the court. Anyway, but yes, you do want to make sure that you keep Brock Purdy. So let's take a look at this quarterback situation for a quick second. We still have, technically speaking, Brock Purdy, Josh Johnson, Trey Lance, and Jimmy Garoppolo is still technically here. Now, I'm going to do a breakdown on Jimmy and where he should go as far as like the teams that are quarterback needy, along with trying to figure out how much money we got back because his contract was incentive laden. Like that's basically how he got up to that 18 mil that we restructured him to, because I think his base pay was only $6.5 million. So if you don't meet the incentives in your contract, you don't get the money. Like there's certain things that you can do. Like, I think Raheem Mostert when he was trying to get more money, they just put a bunch of incentives in there to appease him. And it's basically at the franchise's discretion to see if you can meet those numbers or not. And they sometimes will stop you. If you get too close to it, like say they told Raheem, hey, you've got to average 6 yards a carry, or well, no, that's way too high. So say they tell Raheem, you have to have, at least 15 touches every game, or this or that, whatever it is, you have to meet those, and they will stop you right before they know you're going to meet them. There's somebody keeping track of all of that shit, because I'm pretty sure Parag is going, hey, he's a little too close. Stop. Put in someone else. Why? Well, he's getting real close to that incentive, and if you want to kick him out another $100,000, then go right ahead and let him play. But if you don't, you better put his ass on the bench so he can't do it. And teams are notorious for doing that. They are, because they don't want to pay. They would rather leave things alone. I don't know why it is. Don't ask me. It just it happens that way, and it is what it is. I'm not even, bad for that, but it happens. So for Jimmy, to be honest with you, I'm gonna stick to what I've said. Don't come back. Don't get on the field. Don't try to make it back. If I'm Jimmy, look. Said my goodbyes to the Niners. I'm about to go get broke the fuck off. That's the end of the discussion. It's just how it works. Oh, you're a Warriors fan. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I like the Dubs. Don't get me wrong. I do. I like the Dubs. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Clay and Steph and Draymond and, Jordan Poole, all of them. I like that team. The Dubs are dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm a California kid. So at the end of the day, if I can't root for the Bulls in the playoffs and I know the Warriors are in there, or there's a California squad in there, I'll fuck with them. I will never root for the Sacramento Queens. They fucking suck. They've been trash forever. And I'm sorry, it ain't no disrespect to Sacramento. It's just the Kings fucking suck. They're trash. I would never root for them. But if it's the Dubs or something like that, it's cool. I like the Lakers in the 80s. Because they were a team. You know what I'm saying? Kobe and Shaq, and then even through the Kobe years, it was cool. I never really cared for Kobe as a player. I loved him as a human being. As a person, he was a great dude. But just as a player, I don't know. Just didn't fuck with him. But hey, he's got that dog in him, man. He's got that dog in him. Kobe was the closest thing we'll ever get to MJ. And I've said that before, and I will never come off of that. You can't put LeBron and MJ in the same sentence because they're two different people and they don't play the same way. Kobe had killer instinct. LeBron didn't. He don't have killer instinct. That's not who he was, man. Kobe was a beautiful human being. He was a really good dude. At the end of the day, yeah, man, that's you and Breezy with that one, CG. You got to talk to Breezy if you talk about you don't like his Celtics, man. He loves his Celtics. Shout out to Breezy, man. Shout out to Nitty Gritty and the fam over there, man. Continue to keep Peachy in your prayers and whatnot. I know it's been a little while since she lost her dad, but when you lose your dad, it takes a lot of time, man. So continue to keep Peachy in your prayers. But if you look at it, man, if I'm Jimmy, I don't come nowhere near this team. I ain't doing shit. I'm rehabbing. I make every excuse as it pertains to why I can't be there and I can't be on the field. Plus, you got to think about it like this. If we win out, we still have 4 games. If we win out, do you really think they want to put Jimmy back on the field? You are not fucking with this continuity that has been built. The team would revolt. You know what I'm saying? Now, for the life of me, I'll never understand this. I truthfully will not. I don't know what it is, what Jimmy Garoppolo did to George Kittle, but he's still dick riding him. He still loves him. He came out there with he wrote "Feels Great Baby" on his shirt and then put 10. Bruh, the dude won't call or text. Why? I don't know, man. I don't know. Everybody says he's a nice guy. The locker room loves him. All this other shit. Me personally, if a person can't even fucking text you back or call you, it's fucking stupid. It just doesn't make sense, bro. And yeah, Tommy, you're right, man. I lost my dad, man. And believe you me, bro. I'm not going to get into it, but I was definitely in a dark place. It was not a good time for me, man. It was rough. It was a real rough patch for a very long time, man. It takes time, man. It takes time to pull yourself out of that. Tavares says, MAGA Bosa and Kittle would rather have Jimmy. Yeah, I mean, they probably would. You know, I know a lot of people malign me for my most watched video that I've ever had on my channel, and it was "Don't Draft Nick Bosa." I haven't had any comments on it in a very long time, but yeah, I think I got like over 1,000 views, and people came on there and talked all kinds of crap and said things. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I saw some things that I didn't care for that the media would not air out, not aired its ass out. It's just really fucking simple. You know what I'm saying? And this was right before the draft. And the reason that I was so hard on it was strictly based on the fact that it seemed like everybody, I'll say this, and you know, I'm not here to offend anyone, but I'll just keep it a buck. When it comes down to it, when white players do shit, it gets swept under the rug. When black players do shit, it gets blasted. It's talked about for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. You know, we malign them, we put them down, we talk bad about them, we do all of that. But he goes out and does the shit that he does, and it gets swept under the rug. It gets chalked up to the fact that he's a kid, but we can't do the same for black players. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, and I don't like it. The only reason I laid off of Nick Bosa is because the locker room came out and said they fuck with him. And the locker room said that they don't have no problems. Plus, I'm 120% sure Sherm went over there and had a nice little conversation with him and checked all that bullshit. So at the end of the day, that's just, hey, he's playing great. He fits in with the locker room. Haven't heard anything else. Although, actually, I take that back. Since somebody mentioned that, I will say this. Tavarius, you know, you got to know this. If you said MAGA Bosa, then you should know this. Bosa had a girlfriend. His girlfriend, I don't know if he's still with her now. His girlfriend was on Twitter literally stating, I'm basically, she, in so many words, I'm paraphrasing. She basically said, I'm just trying to find, you know, a big, dumb athlete that'll marry me so I don't have to work. Bosa's not dumb, but he is big. He is an athlete, and he's about to get a really big fucking bag. If he's still with this chick, I don't know. That tells you that she's using you for money automatically. So that's a statement, you know. Along with the fact that she did, I guess, her little ancestry, 23andMe, whatever it is, and found out she had like 1% black and thought she could run around using the N-word like it was fucking simple. And she would tell people like, hey, you know, well, I'm part black, so I can say that. Let me say this on the topic of such, because we had another person that had a situation with that problem. Here's the thing. This is just the way I look at it. You've done things, you take it as a term of, you know, in our own community, we use it as a term of endearment to an extent. We've taken the word that's used for so much hate and negativity and turned it into something positive, like so many things in this world. But when other people use it, they use it out of context and or it just looks dumb. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You know, so I'm gonna get off that. But at the end of the day, you know, your girlfriend's out here doing crazy shit. You did crazy shit. It's like hold the guy accountable, and that's all I meant with what I had. But like I said, Bosa is doing anything. Oh my God, please don't start me on Patrick Mahomes and his woman is annoying as fuck. Like I just like it. I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into anything. I'm gonna leave race and everything alone. We're gonna just keep it on football, man. So Tarvarius did ask. He said, should Jimmy come back off injury? We got Kinlaw, Lance, we got Mitchell. So I'll say this. If we're going to activate anyone as far as a quarterback, it should be Trey Lance. Why? Because he can at least be an emergency backup at a bare minimum. If something happens, God forbid, that's what I would do. Honestly, that's exactly what I would do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they broke up a while back. He probably and here's the thing. Thank you for letting me know that throwback. Here's the thing. If he did that, it's probably you got to remember, man. Bosa is a part of a football family, so they will keep you, you know, leveled. Like if you notice, he's never said anything bad against the refs. He knows that roughing the passer call was complete bullshit. What did he say? I let my team down. Shouldn't have done that. Hey, you know what? Good job, kid. They have him PR ready. And most likely somebody said, hey, look, man, she can't be running around out here acting like this and fucking around. No, 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 no. I'm pretty sure his dad, came to him and was like, son, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, look, man, let's keep it a buck. She's pretty. She's got some really nice tits. But it's not worth all of the extra drama that's going to come with it. The backlash that you will get and you will receive for her ignorance and what she is doing is going to fuck you out of money. Get rid of her. Somebody came to him and had that conversation. It may not have went exactly that way, but there was something. That basically was the end game. So that's basically how it works. But no, I don't think that Jimmy should come back. Honestly, if I'm dead ass, like if I'm Jimmy, I'm a quarterback. That is the highest paid position in the league. I'm about to go get broke the fuck off. Fuck you, man. I'm coming back here for this shit. I'm gonna sit on the team and I'm gonna do the same thing Vernon Davis did. If we get to the Super Bowl and win one, I was a part of the team. I may not have done shit, but I was a part of the motherfucking team. There's lots of people walking around with rings that did nothing to get them. Jimmy has several. He didn't win those rings. He was a backup. He never played. Just saying, these things happen. So, shout out Joe Moses. He said even Robert Horry got 7 rings, bitch. And he does. He got his rings with the Lakers. I think he has rings with the Lakers and I believe with the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. So you look at it, man, it's like, yo, some people, they're in the right place at the right time. And Robert Horry was a fantastic role player. Oh my gosh, he was great at being a role player. He was good on offense and defense for basketball, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there, man. We are on a 7-game win streak. We look to making an 8-game win streak when we come back on Christmas Eve and go ahead and play against the Commanders and Taylor Heineke. And that one's a little rougher because they got a good defense. They do have a good defense. Sorry, excuse me. And Taylor Heineke has been balling. He's been keeping them rolling. You know what I mean? So let's take a look at the Commanders just real quick, since they're pretty much up next. Let's see what we got and what they doing at the moment. We'll give a little mini preview before we get up out of here. So the Commanders, this has been a crazy season for them. So check this out. They start the season off with a win. Then they go on a 4-game losing streak. Then they go on a 3-game winning streak. They take a L to the Vikings, go right back on a 3-game winning streak, and then they tie with the Giants. And now they got to play the Giants. So they play the Giants back-to-back, which is very odd. I've never seen that before. Typically, in-division games are at least spread out. You go one game, and then you go against somebody else, and then you go another in-division game. But that's first. Okay. So they're playing the Giants in back-to-back weeks. I've never, ever seen that in my life. But they tied with the Giants last week. So this could be a situation where when they play the Giants, I did pick them to win. So they probably will get this W. But hell, I mean, shit, they tie again. Don't bother me not one bit. So they're rolling. They look pretty good. And I'm not mad at them, and we just got, hey, what's going on, Crazy Juice? But hey, man, it's a simple situation of anybody that we can play, we can take care of. One thing, though, CG said it, man, it's those more, or I think somebody else said in the chat, mobile quarterbacks. That's where we struggle. It is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do, man. I truthfully don't, because if we come up against the Eagles, bro, Jalen Hurts, and he runs smart. That's the problem. He's mobile and he's really smart about it. See, you want a mobile guy who really just doesn't pay a lot of attention and gets whacked every now and then. Nope, not Jalen Hurts. He knows how valuable he is to his team. He runs smart. He knows exactly what to do. Not a Cali boy. What's going on, man? I'm in Phoenix, and I fuck with the AZ Niner Empire. Those are my dogs. We go to Varsity Tavern off Mill Ave, and that's where shit gets popping over there. So the AZ Niner Empire, those are my guys. That's who I mess with out there. I know we got plenty of chapters out here though. Like, we hella deep. We are stupid deep, man. And yet, mic drop. Automatic. This is the problem you have. When you play a mobile quarterback, you must put a spy on him. Must. There is no chance of that. You have to put a spy on him. If you don't, he will eat you alive. And that's what we don't do. We don't put spies on guys. I don't know why, but it happens. He said Jimmy fans are mad at Purdy's success. Yes, they are. Of course. They still got a bunch of Jimmy G dick riders in his fan base that, are number one Jimmy G lover and supporter, David Lombardi. Well, they said it could just be 6 weeks so we could see Jimmy back on the field. Bro, we are on a 7-game winning streak. The last 3 games that we have played, Brock Purdy helped us win those. Do you think if we close this season out on an 11-game win streak, you really think anybody's going to give a shit about Jimmy Garoppolo? No. Oh, Gary? Yeah, Gary's cool. That's the homie. So I have no idea why anybody would want to do any of that. At the end of the day, you roll with the guy that you have. You do not fuck with the continuity that's built with this offense, and you leave it alone. If Jimmy by some freak of nature chance comes back, then that's cool, whatever. But honestly, you activate Trey Lance. He's further along in his recovery, and he would probably be better suited to be the backup. You let him knock his rust off in practice and whatnot. And if he has to come in, he has to come in. But that's what I would do, because I know that Trey is going to be here long term. I know that Purdy's going to be here long term. I know that Jimmy is gone. He is a free agent quarterback, and the 49ers are not going to be able to pay him because he's going to go out there and get starter money. If we restructured him from what we were initially going to give him, because he didn't wind up being able to go anywhere, you really think we're going to give him that kind of money again? We cannot have him on the roster and then have him getting paid more than our starter and our backup. And our, both the starter, technically speaking, being Trey Lance, was the guy that took his job and the guy that was drafted to take his job and was initially doing that until he got hurt. And then, Brock Purdy, with the way he's playing, like, why would you, what sense would it make for you to try to bring him back? It just doesn't. And plus, like I said, the money he's going to get, he's fetching on the open market. We can't match that. We cannot. And it doesn't make sense. It just does not. So anybody who likes Jimmy Garoppolo, say your goodbyes, because he's gone. Period. We keep playing the way that we're playing. This defense keeps balling the way that it's balling. We have no reason on God's green earth to mess with what we have. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Period. You stick with it and you roll through it. Purdy's been playing very well. The guy's got poise. And the one thing I will say is, both of our quarterbacks that we currently have on the roster, as far as Lance and Purdy, have ridiculously great leadership skills in the open and with the media. These dudes will come out and tell you, Brock Purdy didn't take no credit. I'm just a piece of the puzzle, man. That's all I am. Trey Lance came out when he had that game against Arizona. He put it on his shoulders. He put it on himself. That was me. I have to be better. I have to do this, X, Y, and Z. And what happened? Houston Texans game. First half looked like shit. Second half looked a little better. Wasn't spectacular by any stretch of the imagination, but we got the win, and we needed that win to do what? Get into the playoffs. If we don't win, we're not in the playoffs. So he contributed to that success. And when when we got the win, what did he say? Team win. Everybody was good. We did great. I got to get better. Things I need to clean up. Like, those are the types of things I like to see, because all the hype that you provide, that the team provides as far as Jimmy Garoppolo, and goes, oh, well, we love him. He's great in the locker room. He's this, he's that. Look at that smart. Like, nobody gives a fuck, bro. It needs y'all to, and for me, look, I don't care nothing about your sexual preference or what you have, but you definitely look hella suspect as a dude continuing to fawn over a man and his jawline and how good he looks. And like, it's, if you say it and you just, say, like, somebody asks you a general question, I'm saying, like, I'm one of those dudes, I'm just going to keep it a buck. If somebody says, well, hey, what do you think? Okay, yeah, handsome dude. But that's where it's going to stop. I'm not going to continue to see this guy go, oh my God. Like, some of these players, like Kittle, he fawns over him. He be over there, oh my God, Jimmy, have you seen his jawline? Have you seen this? Have you seen that? Like, bro, I know you're joking, but let's relax. Let's calm it down. So it kind of is with that, man. Look, he says nothing wrong with stating the fact. It's not about having another team jersey. That's a totally different subject. Like I get it, I get it, but we just have to be very mindful of it, man. It's my only team that I'm truthfully worried about is the Eagles. When I look at the NFC, period, just the NFC in general, if I look at everybody and I look at the guys that are pretty much slated to make the playoffs, the whole NFC East is damn near making the playoffs just by record alone. But if I'm looking at it, there's not another team that scares me. Truthfully, nobody from the NFC South scares me at all because all those teams suck. You know what I'm saying? When you look in the NFC East, once again, it's every team possibly could make the playoffs just because of how well they look. And then when you look at the NFC North, I'm the only other team, and I'll give them this because they have been playing very well as of late. The only other team that's sneaky good is the Lions. They've been rolling. They're now 6-7. They're not out of the playoff picture. If they win 4 more games, they could possibly get in there. It all depends. But I don't know. We'll see, man. I'm definitely going to do playoff shows. Definitely going to do playoff shows because I want to keep up with the playoffs and talk about them and, see what we got going. But for us, let's take this time. Let's rest. Let's get our bodies right. Do a couple of practices here and there. Have time, have a good time, have fun with your fam. I'm saying? Christmas around the corner. Hopefully you're done with your shopping. You are not a last minute person out there and all of that fucking, crazy shit. Because these people out there, out their minds, man. I literally seen it. I saw a dude get knocked out over a fucking transformer. Bullshit you not. Hell, we've unfortunately had people get trampled just fucking going to the store because of Black Friday, all kinds of things. So if you're out there, man, and you're shopping, just be careful. Take your time and getting out of there. If you got to drive through a bunch of traffic, just be careful and be mindful, man. Keep your head on the swivel. Shit can happen at any moment. Don't be that last minute shopper that's out there running around looking for every fucking thing. But other than that, man, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. All of y'all for hanging out. Everybody came into the chat, CG, to various Throwback, Cook Sports, Andy, all of my dudes, man, everybody. Who else came in to hang out with me? Let me scroll up. Niner Cali Boy, appreciate you for coming through. Crazy Juice. It's fantastic. Tommy, Dave, everybody that came and hung out with your boy this morning. I appreciate y'all so much. I do this for the love of the channel. And look, man, let's relax. Let's chill. That's my dog right there. Perk dog in the house. I like Perk, man. Perk cool than the motherfucker, man. Perk literally told me that he was sorry for the late sub, but he did subscribe to the channel. It didn't even make a difference, man, because I knew he had seen me and he knew who I was, man. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? And look at Tommy. Me. Yes, Tommy, we know who you are. And once again, everybody, Tommy shreds on that fucking guitar. Before I get up out of here, man, I do have to pay some bills, and I completely neglected this, and I should not have. But I will definitely let you know. So the holiday season is upon us, and MyBookie is in the giving spirit with 12 straight days of giveaways, from odds boosts to casino chips to startup locks. MyBookie's 12 days of giveaways is a can't miss promotion. Starting December 21st and ending January 1st, you can bring in the new year right with giveaways that can help you fill your stocking with cash this season. Sign up at MyBookie. Use promo code HIVE. That's promo code HIVE, HIVE, on your first deposit to redeem a bonus of up to $200. Again, that's promo code HIVE, HIVE, to claim a brand new deposit bonus designed for bettors looking to cash in and cash out quick. Experience sports in a whole new light and make this a winning season. Make this season a winning one. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And I'm sorry, man, we had to pay the bills, but Dave says Go Niners. The Commies are up next. Here's my thing, man. I have to say this. Yes, and keep Miss Debbie in your prayers as well. Along with Peachy, Miss Debbie has been sick for a little bit. She is on the mend. She is recovering well, but keep her in your prayers as well, Miss Debbie. We are praying for you. We wish you a speedy recovery. We have nothing but love for you. She's the matriarch, and we really love Miss Debbie, man. I got the chance to meet her. Such a sweet woman. Very, very good soul. So make sure that you keep her in your prayers as well. Yeah, Perk, you like I'm early on Saturdays, Perk. It's all gravy though. But the reason that I put this up, and I'm gonna leave this up here, man, just for a second. So long time ago, when the Commanders first got their name, of course we all know that it was leaked basically by a helicopter flying over the stadium, and you look in there and there's a big ass sign that says Commanders. And it was a big controversy about them changing their name. The reason that I laugh is strictly based on the fact that I was in a spaces on Twitter, and this dude literally kept saying things about the Commanders, and then he would say, "Go Commies." Bro, you are in America, and you are yelling, "Go Commies." I am fucking done. I was dying laughing. It was so hilarious. But he would be like, "Yeah, man, we got Carson Wentz, go Commies. Yeah, Gibson's great, go Commies. Yeah, we got Terry McLaurin, go Commies." Like, he would just do it, and the shit would be funny, bro, because he would just say it, and people would be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, are you saying you love communism? Like, it's just funny as fuck, bro. It was funny as fuck. Come next Saturday, Commanders will change their name again to the Washington. I love it. I love every second of it, man. I appreciate everybody for stopping by the stream. Thank you so much. Like I said, hit that like and subscribe button. Please, by all means, help your boy out. The more likes, the better the algorithm. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Once I get to 500 subscribers, I will do a giveaway. I will figure out exactly what it is. I may even do a situation where it's like a nice little box that I put together for whoever, for that. And we'll just raffle it off. I'll take a look at the subscribers, see if I can find something that helps me, like put everybody into a box and just boom, pull it out, and that's that. But thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate. What do you say? The Vikings take a L. We move up to the second seed. That's what I'm saying. We're playing for seeding. Yes, Rocky Mountain Razorback, my dog. He's a little late, but he's there, man. That's the dude. That's the first dude I heard. Me. That's the first dude I heard that came up with Glock Purdy, and he put it right in my chat, and I love it, man. I told you got the 9 milli cock, pow, pow, pow. You let talk to us every time he scores a touchdown. That's exactly what it is. Pow. You got to give him that. But I don't know, man. I don't think the Colts can beat the Vikings. I'm sorry. Jeff Saturday it's nice to have him as an interim head coach, but he ain't doing nothing to wind up solidifying an actual head coaching job. And I don't think that that's what he truthfully wants to do. I love him on ESPN. I truthfully do. I love him on ESPN. But, hey, man, appreciate everybody for stopping by the stream. Everybody have a wonderful day. Everybody stay blessed, stay faithful. If you're in Arizona and you are looking for vegan food, check out Naughty Vegan. That's NAUGHTY Vegan, VEGAN. They have pop-ups all over the valley. It's going to usually be in Tempe and or Phoenix, or even Mesa sometime. Awesome food, Black-owned business, 2 women doing everything. My sisters, they are making it happen, and the food is amazing. Definitely, if you're looking for vegan food, or if you're looking to go vegan and you're just not sure and you want to try the food just to see if the taste and the texture and everything works for you, that's the place to go, man. I am telling you, I swear by this because I'm not vegan and I eat the food, and it's actually amazing. And I was very surprised because I thought when I bit into it was going to be nasty. I was like, oh no, this thing will be really good. I don't know. It is fantastic. The food is great. My sisters are doing a fantastic job with that business. Once they get to a certain point, of course, there'll be a little bit more. People are asking for a brick and mortar. So as the momentum of the business picks up, we'll continue to do that. Those are my sisters. I'm always here to support them. I'm always here to support Black business. And yes, next Friday, I'm on my way to Vegas, baby. I am on my way to Vegas. If anybody will be in Vegas for that weekend, for the Raiders game, even if you don't go to the game, but you're going to be in Vegas. I know it's really crazy because it's New Year's time for Vegas and it's going to be a lot. If anybody is there, definitely hit me up, man. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be chilling and be doing my thing. But other than that, everybody stay up, stay faithful. Once again, if you're looking for the best vegan food in Phoenix, Arizona, or if you're in Arizona in general and you're trying to find a place, come down. Make sure you hang out with Naughty Vegan. They do fantastic work. They do a great job. And the food is amazing, man. Nothing stops us. Nothing. Stay up, stay faithful, stay blessed. Have a wonderful weekend.